Welcome to Idaho. Idaho has over 9 million acres of roadless wilderness, more than any other state except Alaska. Imagine that. No highways, no towns, no fences. Just pure, untouched nature stretching further than the eye can see. It feels like stepping into a forgotten world where mountains stand tall, rivers carve their own paths, and silence is broken only by the call of wildlife. Idaho, the gem state. But its greatest gem is not hidden underground. It shines in the wild landscapes that remain raw, untamed, and breathtakingly beautiful. So, what makes Idaho's wilderness so rare? And why does it still feel like America's best-kept secret? Stay tuned, because you are about to see a side of Idaho that will leave you speechless. Snake River Canyon cuts a dramatic path through southern Idaho, forming a deep and narrow gorge over 50 miles long. The canyon reaches up to 500 feet in depth and 0.25 miles in width, with steep cliffs lining both sides. The Snake River carved the canyon over millions of years, creating North America's iconic river gorge. The canyon floor once hosted the Magic Valley's first successful agricultural operations in the late 19th century. The canyon's geological formation was influenced by massive floods from Lake Bonneville around 15,000 years ago. Modern studies indicate that the canyon's basic structure existed long before these cataclysmic events. The rugged walls and river vistas continue to attract hikers, anglers, and photographers alike. Now, before we move on to the next destination, here's a fun question for you. In what year did Idaho become a state? Comment your answer. Everyone thinks Niagara Falls is the greatest waterfall in America. But what if I told you there's one even taller? And it's right here in Idaho. Meet Shoshone Falls, often called the Niagara of the West. It rises 212 feet high, making it 45 feet taller than Niagara Falls. The waterfall stretches nearly 1,000 feet wide across the Snake River. Shoshone Falls was born about 14,000 years ago, when a massive flood from ancient Lake Bonneville carved this canyon in just a few weeks. For Native American tribes, the base of the falls was once a rich fishing ground where salmon gathered in huge numbers. European travelers first wrote about the falls in the 1840s, and by the 1860s, it was already attracting tourists, even though the area was remote. In the early 1900s, part of the Snake River was diverted here to irrigate farms, turning the surrounding land into Idaho's Magic Valley. The falls are strongest in spring, when melting snow swells the river and sends over 20,000 cubic feet of water per second crashing down. During late summer and fall, much of the river is used for irrigation, and the waterfall can shrink to just a thin curtain of water. Even so, Shoshone Falls remains a breathtaking sight, drawing visitors from all over to marvel at its sheer power and beauty. If you are watching this, please click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It's completely free, but means a lot to us. The Sawtooth Range looks less like mountains and more like the spine of a giant creature, frozen in stone. Each jagged peak rises like a tooth, biting into the sky. Hidden in the heart of Idaho, these mountains are part of the Great Rocky Mountain chain, yet they feel like a world of their own. Stretching across 678 square miles, the Sawtooths are home to 57 peaks that soar over 10,000 feet high, with Thompson Peak standing tallest at 10,751 feet. Millions of years ago, fire and ice shaped this land. Volcanic rock, massive glaciers, and ancient snowfields carved the sharp ridges and deep valleys we see today. Even though the glaciers are gone, their fingerprints remain in the form of crystal-clear alpine lakes and sweeping U-shaped canyons. Scientists discovered the Sawtooth Fault running silently under the range, capable of producing earthquakes strong enough to shake cities more than 130 miles away. It's a reminder that these mountains are not just a scenic backdrop. They are alive, still shifting, still shaping Idaho's wild heart. To stand here is to feel both wonder and respect, knowing that nature is the true architect of this rugged masterpiece. From calm and steady, Henry's Fork can suddenly unleash 79,000 cubic feet of water every second, powerful enough to sweep away entire towns. The river runs 127 miles across southeastern Idaho before joining the Snake River. Its source begins at Big Springs, where nearly 500,000 gallons of 52-degree water flow out of the ground every day. Just a few miles from its headwaters, the Missouri River begins on the opposite side of the Continental Divide, showing how close two great river systems sit. Henry's Fork cuts through the Caribou-Targhee National Forest and passes through Island Park Reservoir, a key part of Idaho's irrigation system. As it leaves the caldera, it drops over thundering waterfalls that mark the edge of the ancient volcano. Further downstream, the river fans into a broad inland delta north of Rexburg before merging with the Snake River. Its waters support one of Idaho's most important rainbow trout habitats, drawing anglers from around the world. Because of its ecological value, some stretches between Henry's Lake and Big Springs are completely closed to fishing to protect spawning trout. The Nature Conservancy even maintains a learning station here, helping visitors understand how vital this river is to both wildlife and people. Redfish Lake rises to 6,547 feet, surrounded by the jagged peaks of the Sawtooth Mountains. Its waters stretch 4.5 miles long and 0.72 miles wide, plunging to a maximum depth of 387 feet. The shoreline spans 11 miles, with hiking trails around the lake extending 17.5 miles. Sockeye salmon historically returned from the Pacific Ocean in massive numbers, giving the lake its vivid name. Today, only a small fraction of these salmon survive the journey past hydroelectric dams. The lake's clear waters reflect surrounding peaks, offering breathtaking views for hikers and photographers alike. Redfish Lake draws visitors for both its striking beauty and its role as critical habitat for native wildlife. From above, Palisades Reservoir looks like a sapphire cracked open in the middle of Idaho's mountains. From the shore, it feels endless, water, forest, and sky blending into one. This is not just a lake, it's a living canvas. This lake was created by the Palisades Dam, and today it covers 25 square miles of water. Its shoreline stretches for more than 70 miles, giving visitors plenty of space to explore and spread out. The reservoir sits inside the Caribou-Targhee National Forest, which means it is surrounded by mountains, pine trees, and rich wildlife. The water is stocked with cutthroat trout, brown trout, kokanee salmon, and even Mackinaw, drawing anglers here year-round. Fishing changes with the seasons. Spring and fall are popular, while winter ice fishing often brings in the best catches. Beyond fishing, the lake has 6 boat ramps, making it easy to launch boats, kayaks, or paddleboards for a day on the water. On land, visitors can camp, hike, or simply enjoy the quiet scenery near the small town of Swan Valley. Would you visit this amazing spot? Comment 1 if you've been, 2 if it's on your bucket list. Nestled in the mountains of southwestern Idaho, The Boise River stretches over 100 miles, winding through forests, canyons, and wide-open valleys. Its sparkling waters begin high in the Sawtooth Range, where snow-capped peaks feed the river from 3 separate forks. The North and Middle Forks meet near Idaho City, forming the main river that flows gently toward Boise. Along the way, the South Fork joins in, bringing water from the Smoky and Soldier Mountains into Arrow Rock Reservoir. In Boise, the river is lined with a lush greenbelt, perfect for walking, biking, and soaking in nature right in the city. Dams and canals along the river have shaped the land, turning dry fields into thriving farms and providing water for the local community. The century-old Boise River Diversion Dam and historic Reidenball Canal are reminders of the river's role in the region's growth. Crossing the Treasure Valley, the river spreads into a wide braided stream, carrying its waters across farmland before joining the Snake River. More than just a waterway, the Boise River has been a lifeline for people and wildlife for centuries. Early explorers called it Reed's River, and today it continues to bring life, adventure, and beauty to Idaho. This canyon is deeper than the Grand Canyon, carved by a river that drops nearly 8,000 feet from rim to river. Hell's Canyon runs along the border of eastern Oregon and western Idaho, extending into a small section of eastern Washington. The Snake River flows through the canyon, creating North America's deepest river gorge. The area encompasses 214,000 acres of wilderness, much of which remains inaccessible by road. The canyon's rocks formed over 300 million years ago through volcanic activity and sedimentation under the ancient Pacific Ocean. Between 130 and 17 million years ago, the ocean plate collided with North America, followed by renewed volcanic activity covering the region with basalt lava. Rivers began carving the canyon about 6 million years ago, gradually cutting through the high plateau. Around 3 million years ago, water from ancient Lake Idaho overtopped a natural divide, allowing the Snake River to flow through the area. Hell's Canyon's final shaping occurred during massive floods from Lake Bonneville roughly 15,000 years ago. The canyon's rims are densely forested, featuring scenic overlooks and jagged mountain peaks. Below, the canyon floor creates a stark desert environment, contrasting sharply with the lush upper slopes. Tucked between the Sawtooth and Chalice National Forests, Sun Valley feels like a hidden mountain treasure. Bald Mountain rises proudly here, drawing skiers and snowboarders from all over, even Olympic champions. Snow blankets the valley each winter, creating a playground of epic slopes and jaw-dropping views. At Galena Lodge, 24 kilometers of snowshoeing trails wind through serene, sparkling landscapes. The crisp mountain air and quiet surroundings make it a perfect escape from crowded resorts. Sun Valley is also steeped in history, welcoming the famous writer Ernest Hemingway back in 1939. He finished his classic novel, For Whom the Bell Tolls, at the historic Sun Valley Lodge, where guests can still stay today. Info comes from all over. If you notice an error or have something to add, leave a comment. We love hearing from you. Hidden in the Sawtooth Mountains, Stanley, Idaho is a secret paradise that only a few have truly explored. The town sits in the Stanley Basin, first discovered by fur trappers from the Hudson's Bay Company in the 1820s, though they soon moved on because beaver were scarce. In 1863, Captain John Stanley, a Confederate Civil War veteran, led 23 prospectors through the area, searching for gold along the Sawtooth Mountains. While the group found little gold in the basin itself, their journey led them to the Atlanta lode at the south end of the Sawtooths. Stanley was not officially recognized as a town until 1919, when its streets and lots were surveyed and recorded. Over the years, the town has remained a gathering place for the region's ranchers, artists, and outdoor enthusiasts. In 2005, 22-year-old Hannah Stouts became Idaho's youngest elected mayor, highlighting the town's unique and lively community spirit. Surrounded by jagged peaks of the Sawtooth Mountains, Stanley is also a gateway for mountain biking, hiking, climbing, and backcountry skiing. Every morning, the town awakens to the crisp mountain air and eye-catching natural beauty, creating an experience that feels both peaceful and full of adventure. Hidden in the mountains of Custer County, Bayhorse is a ghost town frozen in time. Founded in 1877, it once thrived on the riches of nearby silver, lead, and copper deposits. Charcoal kilns, once used to smelt ore, stand intact like silent witnesses to the town's industrious history. Bayhorse was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1976 and opened to the public in 2009 as part of land of the Yankee Fork State Park. Boise started as a U.S. Army outpost in 1863 to protect gold miners during the early rush. Its location along the Oregon Trail made it a welcoming stop for settlers traveling west. Nearby, silver and gold mining operations brought merchants and laborers, giving the town its first bursts of growth. By the 1880s, the arrival of the railroad connected Boise to trade routes across the West. Irrigation projects transformed the surrounding desert into fertile farmland in the Treasure Valley. The city's streets began to fill with schools, markets, and small businesses, reflecting steady community growth. Today, Technology companies shape Boise's modern economy alongside government and healthcare sectors. The Boise Greenbelt, lined with trees along the river, offers peaceful trails that highlight the city's natural beauty. Annual events like Treefort Music Fest bring energy and creativity to the city's downtown streets. Neighborhoods blend historic charm with modern living, inviting visitors to explore local shops and cafes. Boise's unique combination of river views, open spaces, and cultural richness makes it a surprisingly vibrant city to wander through. Few waterfalls in Idaho offer the quiet charm and dramatic descent of Fall Creek Falls. The falls drop 60 feet into the Snake River, widening as they fall and creating natural fountains along the way. Perched at 5,280 feet, the surrounding valley combines rugged cliffs with lush forested areas. Sunrise and sunset cast striking light across the falls, creating breathtaking views for photographers. Visitors can explore the river by wading, kayaking, canoeing, or fishing in nearby waters. Trails lead to secluded spots where the fall's full scale becomes apparent, much larger than they seem from a distance. Fall Creek Falls lies within a scenic valley that supports diverse wildlife and plant life year-round. The Snake River stretches over 1,080 miles, carving its way across the landscapes of 6 U.S. states. It begins in Yellowstone National Park, flowing through rugged canyons and high desert plains in Idaho. Volcanic activity from the Yellowstone hotspot shaped much of the Snake River Plain millions of years ago. Massive Ice Age floods later sculpted deep canyons and dramatic features like Shoshone Falls. river deposits fertile soil along its banks, allowing lush farmland to flourish amid otherwise arid terrain. Salmon and other anadromous fish have long supported indigenous communities, linking nature with culture. Lewis and Clark were the first recorded non-native explorers to encounter the river in 1805. The river's wide bends and sparkling waters make it a striking sight from every viewpoint along its course. Hydroelectric dams altered the flow and created navigation channels, shaping human settlement in the region. The Snake River remains both a powerful reminder of geological forces and a breathtaking destination for travelers seeking scenic views. Imagine a shimmering lake tucked high in the Idaho Mountains, where glaciers carved the water over thousands of years. Deep, clear, and surrounded by forests, this lake has hidden stories that go back centuries. Welcome to Payette Lake, a natural wonder that has inspired both adventure and legend. Stretching across 5,000 acres, Payette Lake is a sparkling gem in west-central Idaho. Its waters flow from the upper basin of the Payette River, eventually joining the Snake River. The lake reaches over 300 feet at its deepest points, offering a stunning view from every angle. Long before miners arrived during the 1862 gold rush, Native Americans lived along the lake for thousands of years. By the early 1900s, McCall became a summer and winter getaway, with cabins, resorts, and the Grand Payette Lakes Club. Visitors can also enjoy sailing, kayaking, paddleboarding, and jet skiing on the wide, clear waters. A fun legend adds mystery as a sea serpent named Charlie is said to live in the lake's deep waters. Whether you're chasing adventure, relaxation, or a little mystery, Payette Lake has it all. Standing 486 feet above the Snake River, Perrine Bridge is more than just concrete and steel. It challenges the nerves and amazes the eyes of anyone who crosses it, The Perrine Bridge spans the Snake River just north of Twin Falls, connecting Twin Falls County with Interstate 84 in Jerome County. Stretching approximately 1,500 feet in total length, its main span reaches 993 feet across the canyon. At 486 feet above the river, it is the 8th highest bridge in the United States. The roadway sits at an elevation of about 3,600 feet above sea level, offering spectacular panoramic views. Named after E.B. Perrine, the founder of Twin Falls and a pioneer of irrigation in the Magic Valley, the bridge honors his lasting legacy. The original bridge, built in 1927, was a privately financed toll bridge and one of the earliest crossings over the Snake River Canyon. By the 1970s, the original bridge was outdated and could not handle modern traffic. Construction of the current bridge began in 1973 and was completed in 1976 at a cost of over $10 million. Today, the bridge carries 4 lanes of traffic safely across the canyon, blending engineering with dramatic natural beauty. The Idaho state capital in Boise has been home to the state government since the 1860s. Although Lewiston was briefly the first capital, the legislature moved to Boise on December 24, 1864. Idaho became the 43rd state on July 3, 1890, and the capital has stood as its political center ever since. Construction of the current building began in 1905, 15 years after statehood. Architects John Tourtellotte and Charles Hummel designed the building in a classical style inspired by ancient Rome and Greece. The sandstone exterior was quarried from nearby Table Rock, giving the building a distinctive local touch. After 15 years of careful construction, the Capitol was completed in 1920 at a cost of just over $2 million. Its grand columns, ornate details, and majestic dome make it a must-see landmark in Boise. Visitors can explore the building and learn about the history and government of Idaho. The capital is part of the Boise Capital Area District, listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1976. Over a century ago, engineers built Salmon Falls Dam, one of the largest dams in the world, in the Idaho desert. Standing tall across Salmon Falls Creek, this concrete arch marvel changed the landscape forever. Salmon Falls Dam rises 217 feet high and stretches 450 feet across the creek in Twin Falls County. Its reservoir, when full, spreads for 17 miles upstream, covering 3,400 acres of sparkling water. Built in 1910, the dam was designed to store irrigation water for southern Idaho's farmland. It also provides flood control, spilling water only twice in its long history, in 1984 and 2017. At the time it was built, Salmon Falls Dam was the third largest dam in the world. Engineers faced challenges with lava rock leakage and less water than expected, but the dam still transformed the region. The associated Salmon Falls Creek Reservoir has become a popular recreational lake for fishing, boating, and relaxing. Anglers prize the lake as one of the best fisheries in southern Idaho, catching trophy-sized fish. The dam and its surrounding structures were listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2009. Standing here, you can feel the power of human engineering meeting the beauty of nature. This is McCall, Idaho, a charming resort town that has drawn visitors for more than a century. McCall sits on the southern shore of Payette Lake, in the heart of the Payette National Forest. Native Americans, including the Tukudika, Shoshone, and Nez Perce, were the first to call this land home. In the early 1800s, mountain men and fur trappers like Francois Payette and Jedediah Smith passed through the area. The settlement was officially founded in 1889 by Thomas and Louisa McCall, who traded a team of horses for 160 acres of land. Early tourism began with sailing rides on Payette Lake, and the area quickly earned a reputation as a pleasure resort. The arrival of the railroad in 1914 made McCall a thriving community and a popular tourist destination. Hollywood also noticed McCall, with scenes from the 1940 film Northwest Passage shot in the town's forests. After World War II, McCall transformed from a lumber town into a year-round resort. McCall is a place where history, nature, and fun come together in one unforgettable destination. With 14,000 acres of water and endless shoreline, Magic Reservoir is a place where adventure meets relaxation. Magic Reservoir sits on the Big Wood River, straddling the border of Blaine and Kama counties. Most of the reservoir lies within Blaine County, surrounded by vast public lands managed by the Bureau of Land Management. Built in 1910, Magic Dam holds back the waters that create this stunning lake. Fishing here is excellent, with rainbow and brown trout, as well as yellow perch, drawing anglers from across the region. The wide open water makes Magic Reservoir a favorite for families, anglers, and thrill seekers alike. Magic Reservoir is a true gem of southern Idaho, combining natural beauty, outdoor adventure, and unforgettable experiences. Spirit Lake is located in Kootenai County, northern Idaho, about 16 miles north-northwest of Coeur d'Alene. The lake sits 2,440 feet above sea level, stretching over 4.5 miles long and more than a mile wide. Its 12 miles of shoreline have long drawn people seeking peaceful summer retreats. According to legend, the Kootenai tribe named the lake Testimony, or Lake of the Spirits, inspired by a tragic love story. The lake's depth reaches over 100 feet, making it one of the deepest and most mysterious small lakes in the inland Northwest. Lava Hot Springs lies in eastern Bannock County, part of the Pocatello metropolitan area. The town is nestled in a mountainous valley that was once part of the Oregon and California Trail. Its natural hot springs have drawn visitors for generations, becoming the heart of the local resort scene. The climate here features warm summers perfect for outdoor adventures and cold winters that make the hot springs even more inviting. Small in size but full of character, Lava Hot Springs offers a memorable Idaho getaway. Did you know Deary began as a way station run by 2 African-American pioneers? What started as Spud Hill became a hub for travelers heading into the dense northern forests. Over a century ago, the town transformed when the railroad reached its edge, giving it a new identity. The name Deary honors William Deary, a key figure in the lumber industry, whose work shaped the region. Settlers built homes and businesses, creating a community that would withstand the changing times. Positioned at the base of Potato Hill, the town provided both shelter and passage for those exploring Idaho's wilderness. Logging and railroads brought steady work, connecting Deary to larger towns like Moscow and Lewiston. Families here learned to balance life between the rugged outdoors and small-town camaraderie. Today, the remnants of old structures and historical markers remind visitors of a past rooted in resilience and pioneering spirit. The Idaho Falls Temple was first announced in 1937, marking the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints' first sacred building in Idaho. Its modern single-spire design blended Art Deco with traditional temple motifs. Local architects submitted multiple proposals, and the final design drew inspiration directly from the Book of Mormon. Malad City developed along the eastern edge of a valley just 13 miles from the Utah border. Scottish-Canadian trapper Donald Mackenzie passed through the area between 1818 and 1821, giving the river and later the city its name. In 1856, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints migrated to the valley, establishing the original settlement called Fort Stewart. By 1857, Fort Stewart was renamed Malad City, and a post office opened in 1865. The city grew rapidly in the late 19th century, becoming an important commercial hub between Salt Lake City and Butte, Montana. Railroad access arrived in 1906, cutting travel time to Salt Lake City to just 4 hours and doubling the population over 15 years. Malad developed a strong Welsh heritage, holding annual Eisteddfod festivals celebrating music, poetry, and storytelling. Twin Falls is the largest city in south-central Idaho and the heart of the Magic Valley region. The city sits on a broad plain at the south rim of the Snake River Canyon, offering stunning views of cliffs and waterfalls. The first permanent settlement appeared in 1864 at Rock Creek, but irrigation challenges limited growth for decades. Twin Falls became a planned city in 1904, designed by celebrated architect Emmanuel Louis Mascaret. The city was named after a nearby waterfall on the Snake River and became the county seat in 1907. With its dramatic canyon views, rich history, and adventurous spirit, Twin Falls is a destination that leaves a lasting impression. Idaho Falls was first settled by cattle and sheep ranchers before a ferry service opened in 1864. The initial settlement, known as Taylor's Crossing, later became Eagle Rock, named after a basalt island with eagle nests. By 1874, settlers began farming Willow Creek, irrigating crops and establishing permanent homesteads. The Utah and Northern Railway arrived in the late 1870s, connecting the town to mining operations in Montana. The city changed its name to Idaho Falls in 1891, inspired by rapids below the bridge, later transformed into waterfalls. In the mid-20th century, Idaho Falls became home to the National Reactor Testing Station, later the Idaho National Laboratory. Idaho Falls combines historical heritage, agricultural development, and modern innovation along the scenic Snake River. Idaho hides a spectacular pair of waterfalls that few travelers take the time to see. Upper and Lower Mesa Falls tumble within the Targhee National Forest, showcasing the power of rushing water. The falls widen dramatically as they descend, creating mist and a natural fountain effect along the drop. Visitors often enjoy photography, picnic spots, and leisurely walks along the trails near each fall's lookout. The raw beauty and accessibility of Mesa Falls make it a hidden gem in Idaho's river landscape. In the heart of Boise, Morrison Park provides a green retreat along the Boise River. Morrison Park features open fields for soccer, football, cricket, and softball, supporting community sports. The park doubles as a takeout point for tubers floating along the Boise River. Nestled along the Kootenai River, Bonner's Ferry has a history shaped by trade, mining, and lumber. The town's origin traced to 1864, when Edwin Bonner operated a ferry along the Wild Horse Trail. Bonner's Ferry balances its rich past with riverfront life and community culture. The Lochsa River courses through the mountains of north-central Idaho, renowned for its untamed rapids. Its name comes from the Nez Perce word, meaning rough water, reflecting the river's challenging nature. Rafting and kayaking enthusiasts travel from around the world to navigate its rapid-filled stretches. Lake Coeur stretches 25 miles long, with over 109 miles of shoreline in northern Idaho. Formed by massive Ice Age floods, the lake sits as a major recreational and ecological landmark. The lake is fed primarily by the Coeur d'Alene and St. Joe rivers, with outflow via the Spokane River. Summer surface temperatures average around 67.5 degrees Fahrenheit, inviting boating, swimming, and water sports. The lake's basin was shaped by glacial movement and catastrophic Missoula floods 12,000 to 15,000 years ago. Eddy bars and boulder deposits from the floods created natural barriers, forming the current lake shape. Bruneau Dunes State Park in southwestern Idaho features North America's tallest single-structured dune at 470 feet. The park spans 4,800 acres, encompassing dunes, small lakes, and desert habitats. Geologically unique, the dunes form near the center of a basin, not along its edge. The area includes desert, prairie, lake, and marsh ecosystems, supporting diverse wildlife. Coyotes, birds of prey, and waterfowl are common species visitors may observe. Visitors often enjoy a combination of climbing, sand sledding, and birdwatching in a single trip. Bruneau Dunes State Park blends geological wonder with recreational access, making it a must-visit landmark in Idaho. Big Elk Creek winds through northern forests, carving a path over 6 miles of untouched terrain. The creek is a tributary of Teepee Creek, eventually feeding into Palisades Reservoir. Anglers flock here for the elusive cutthroat trout, prized for its striking patterns and delicate flavor. Kokanee salmon also swim these waters, adding both sport and color to the river's ecosystem. Surrounded by dense trees and quiet meadows, the creek is a haven for hiking and camping. Constructed between 1937 and 1939, Island Park Dam represents one of Idaho's major reclamation projects. Operated by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, it stores water to irrigate farmland across Idaho and parts of Wyoming. Pillar Falls drops about 20 feet as the Snake River divides into multiple channels. Basalt pillars, formed from ancient lava flows, rise dramatically from the riverbed. Over thousands of years, water carved paths between the solid rock, shaping this natural spectacle. The sound of rushing water echoes off the pillars, amplifying the waterfall's power. Each channel creates a slightly different cascade, offering ever-changing views for visitors. If you drive down a winding desert road, you might stumble upon a hidden labyrinth carved into the sand. Its origins are mysterious, with no official records explaining who built it or why. Some say local artist Scott Samuelson created the path as a space for reflection and play. The surrounding desert is silent except for the wind, heightening the sense of wonder. The labyrinth encourages mindfulness, letting visitors pause and leave daily concerns behind. Its isolation ensures it remains a private encounter for those who find it. The path is simple yet striking, blending human creativity with the stark desert landscape. The labyrinth is a small mystery in Idaho, a quiet testament to imagination and serenity. Freak Alley began in 2002 with a single mural and has grown to showcase hundreds of works. Artists from across the region and beyond have painted walls, doors, and even parking lots. The gallery represents a dynamic, living canvas reflecting Boise's artistic spirit. Nearly 10,000 years ago, glaciers carved the northern Idaho landscape, leaving behind what is now Priest Lake. As the ice receded, vegetation returned, and humans began to resettle the region. Archaeological evidence shows ancient artifacts and rock art along the lake, marking early habitation. Today, Priest Lake preserves both its natural beauty and the stories of the people who first called it home. Ketchum began as a mining town processing lead and silver. It later became the largest sheep shipping center in the West. Tourism grew after Sun Valley opened, attracting celebrities like Ernest Hemingway. Today, Ketchum blends history, mountains, and literary legacy in one valley. Riggins sits at the meeting point of the Salmon and Little Salmon rivers. Its canyon location creates dramatic scenery and outdoor adventure opportunities. Named after Richard L. Riggins, the town once relied on logging. The rivers and rugged landscape make Riggins a timeless Idaho destination. Every river, every forest, and every mountain here tells its own story. Idaho is not just a place on the map, it is a feeling. A quiet reminder that there are still corners of the world where nature speaks louder than noise, and beauty is measured not by what we build, but by what we preserve. And maybe that is the real magic of Idaho. You do not just visit it, you carry it with you long after you leave. Thank you for joining this journey. Until next time.